After sleeping with the guy, he doesn't talk as often as before, but he still sends texts and communicates. Trish, what does this mean? Girl, let me tell you. Different faces, same situations. Let's talk about it. What it means is he deceived you. This is deception at its finest. So what a guy will do when he's really looking forward to having that moment with you, he will pursue you for as long as he wants to pursue you. It can be a matter of weeks, it can be a matter of months, it can even be a matter of a year or more. Does that mean that within that time that he's not talking to other women and doing the exact same thing he wants to do with you with other women? No. He is not waiting on you at all. He's waiting on you, but in the midst of waiting on you, he's still getting what he wants outside of you at the same time. But when he is very wanting to pursue you and he's very headstrong about being able to be with you and to experience you in that way, he will chase you as long as he wants to, however long that takes. It can feel like he really wants to get to know you. You know, oh my God, this guy has been at me for months. He's been at me for a year. He must really like me. Why would he stick around for so long? But some guys are very determined that way, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. He is going to ask you different questions to fill you out, to see what type of girl you are, your favorite foods. He's going to ask you what you like to do in your spare time, your hobbies, because he's trying to get a feel for you, just as he would if you were actually really, really interested in getting to know you. He's going to ask you those questions because he wants to impress you. He wants your first date to be the most amazing, and then the second date and the third date, until he gets the prize, until he gets exactly what he wants, the end goal. A lot of guys will use what females like, their vulnerability, against them. Obviously, we as women, we're very emotional beings. We love being able to open up to someone that we're comfortable with. So a lot of times this type of guy, he can deceive you, and he can really make you think that he's really into you like that. He will ask you the hard questions. He'll ask you those really deep, intimate questions. He will really lead you to making you think that he really wants to get to know you. He wants to be with you in that way, which is why you have to be watchful. You have to really be in tune with your intuition to be able to tell when it's real and when it's fake. After he finally gets what he wants from you, whether it be after 2, 3 dates, for as long as he's willing to be patient. Keeping in mind, in the midst of him being patient, in the interim, he's not waiting on you specifically because he does have other options, but you are the prize, you are the goal. Once the mystery is gone, once the rush, the chase is over, he is going to fall back a bit. Those conversations are not going to be as long. Those dates that he was asking you out on and spend time with you, you probably won't get another date for quite some time, if at all. He may kind of do the fade out where he'll eventually ghost you. At this point, you don't need to be worried about if the experience with you for him was good or bad. It's not even about that. It's just the fact that that's really all he wanted from you. He's gotten what he wanted. The hunt is over. Some guys will keep the door open, the door of communication open, because he may have liked it and wants to experience that with you again. If this is your first time experiencing something like that, it can really hurt your feelings. It can really make you feel low about yourself. It could have you as a woman questioning some of everything. What did I do wrong? What did I say wrong? You just unfortunately missed a lot of the signs. You did not know. He did deceive you. Sometimes the guy will still keep in touch with you for a little bit because he doesn't want to seem like a jerk. He doesn't want to be the villain in your story. So instead of making it look as if he hit it and quit it, he'll keep in contact with you just for a little bit before he does the fade out, so he doesn't appear to be as bad as the guys who hit it and really don't say nothing to you after that. With this, obviously, I like to be transparent with you guys as often as I can. This has obviously happened to me before, which is why I'm able to speak from experience. It sucks. It is not a good feeling at all. There are subtle signs that are there. If you go out on a date with this guy, especially the first date, always pay attention to the first date. If you are in a position where you really desire to be in a serious relationship, you have to pay attention to all of these things. If you do not desire to be in a serious relationship, then you kind of really might notice the signs, but you really don't care. I'm specifically talking to you if you really desire to be in a serious relationship with someone who really will truly care about you. You have to look for the signs. A guy and vice versa, a girl will always tell on themselves, and they will let you know exactly what they want. If he mentions anything, even remotely close to sex, he obviously only wants one thing, because a guy who is really into you, even though he might be thinking it, because let's just be real, they think it, and females think it too. However, a guy who is truly into you will put aside his flesh. He'll put aside what he feels sexually about you and things like that. He'll try to block it out of his own mind if he really wants to get to know you. No conversation will be even remotely close to sex. No kind of hint that he wants it. None of that. Some of them are master manipulators. Some of them are really good at deceiving, and it can be kind of tricky to catch some of the hints. They always leave a trail. It's always something. So you have to pay close attention. I want to read a comment that I did read from a male perspective. We'll say his name is David. And I'm going to read to you guys his response. I really liked his response because it was very real. David says, as a male who in my early to mid 20s lived for online dating, the excitement of the potential of having sex with this real fine woman within 1 to 3 dates, if I played it right, was a rush like no other. I would get to know some women for days and weeks, questioning whether this one or this one would be the one, sometimes before we even met. So that goes to show y'all that girls aren't the only ones that be like, oh my God, is he the one? Can he be the one? Guys are like this too. I'd meet them, expectations fulfilled, better than I ever could imagine, falling in love within the first date, and then boom, boom, boom. Minutes after having intercourse, while talking with her about ideas and just hanging out, barely even paying attention or caring about what she would say half the time, I passed up probably 4 to 5 amazing long-term women who had everything I ever wanted and needed, and were also a 10 out of 10 intimately. The rush was more satisfying than the security. Wow. Looking back, now in my 30s, I would kill to have tried to be with one of those girls, and to think I could have married one and shared my life with them. In my more experienced and matured mindset, I cringe at that life. I wasted so much time and energy feeling empty and lonely and depressed when I could have had the one. Not even 5 years later, I crave stability and comfort and security, and would have zero issues being with one special person, because that now gives me an even better rush than the frequent sex encounters. The last girl I dated for 1.5 years helped me to understand this. I didn't even think about the potential of intimacy to even the 3rd date because I didn't want to. I was more fulfilled getting to know her, feeling true, excited, love the feelings, building a foundation, a partnership. My whole point is this: the right guy for you is the guy who patiently and happily finds getting to know you and being in your presence better than intimacy, period. He won't bring up the topic even once. He won't pressure you. He won't guilt trip you. He won't become passive aggressive or give you doubts. He has more energy and is more fulfilled off of building a deeper foundation with you, where he's invested strong enough feelings that disappearing after the intimacy, should it happen, good or bad, wouldn't even be considered an option in the slightest, because he wants more from you. I love to see that comment. That was so real, because he was speaking from his perspective of what he was like, what he did. So as the woman who truly desires a relationship, if this is not something that makes you feel good, if this is not what you want, I would advise you when he reaches out to you to ignore him. You do not owe him any explanation. Look for the signs. What is the conversation like? Is he being respectful of your time? This does not apply to all men. There are really good men out there, just as there are really good women out there. But unfortunately, you will meet this kind often before you might meet the one. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. If you have some questions for me, don't be afraid. Reach out to me in the comments below. Hopefully this video helped you. If you watched, thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm back. I'll see you guys in the next video. Love y'all for watching. Bye.